Hi, welcome to Shake the Lake Roller Derby session here on this end of the festival. Thanks to Festival Foods and the Mallards for allowing us to play some roller derby in front of you here at Shake the Lake.
Yeah, we are the Mad Rollin' Dolls. Here with us are the Dairyland Dolls, our travel team. So we're here to put on a little scrimmage match for you guys. But first off, we're going to get into a little bit of a derby demo, I believe. Intros for. First off, we are going to introduce our teams here.
And we've got one team here, the Dairyland Dolls. They are the interleague team from the Mad Rollin' Dolls, and they play all over the country, all over the world. That's right. They just got back from Philly and played in a tournament there. They may be playing in the Division I tournaments here in Madison at the end of September. They've broken themselves into two teams, the blue and the white, and they'll be playing against one another in a scrimmage for y'all tonight.
That's right. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the white team today from the Dairyland Dolls. First off is number 120, Battle Frog. Number 13, Call It Wild. Number 222, Hoppy Go Lucky. Number 9, Team Captain Shenanigans. Number 313, Slayhound. Number 1975, Neon. Number 03, One Hit Wanda. Number 14, Darling Nikki. Number 366, Jean Lane. Number 27, Blitz Siren. Number 4, Mouse. Number 617, Ginger Snap. And number 141, Hammer Abby. The white team will be supported from the bench by Alligator.
All right, let's hear it for your Dairyland Dolls. Going up against the Dairyland Dolls in white jerseys are the Dairyland Dolls dressed in blue. Let's hear it for them, folks. I want to hear you say moo. All right, we've got number 010, a magnitude 10. Number 17, Fang Dangled. Number 565, Block Ness Monster. Number 155, Lip Smacker. Number 52, Sequin Destroyer. Number 8008, Feminine Hijinks. Number 270, Cyanide. Skating in number 750, it's Whiskey Chaser, your captain for tonight. Number 55 is Scarlet Osnaria. And number 31 is Lady Hoo-Ha. Number 5388 is Dark Horse. Number 1967, Jocelyn Hell. And number 24, Shantastic McAwesome. And those will be your Dairyland Dolls skating in blue. All right, we'd like y'all to remove your hats, and it looks like you're mostly standing, so we are going to have a cheer from your Dairyland Dolls, and now the national anthem sung by Blitz Siren. Got it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Blitz Siren. We are just about ready to get the action underway here, but first, for those of you unfamiliar with the rules of roller derby, a quick roller derby demo.
So you will notice that there are skaters in both blue and white lining up on the line in a four-pack there for defense and offense at the same time. There are also skaters that have stars on their helmets, and those are the jammers. They will be the point scorers for their team.
That's right. Once a jam, each team will put up a single jammer to be their point scorer for the jam. Everybody lines up at the line there, waits for the first whistle for the jam to begin.
Then the jammers start to try and make their way through the pack. The first jammer out of the pack is determined to be lead jammer, and then she has the opportunity to call off the jam at any time during that 2-minute jam.
You can see the referee on the referees pointing to their jammers on the inside. There you can see jammers calling off the jam by placing their hands on their hips. Having passed the hips of 4 opposing jammers, the white jammer has picked up 4 points for her team. Blue jammer picking up 1.
So those are the basic rules, but during the jams, both skaters on white and blue will be playing simultaneous offense and defense to try and get their jammers through and to try and keep the opposing jammer from getting through.
So now let's get into the real thing. We've got number 4, Mouse, jamming for the white team. She is through first, taking lead jam.
And jamming for blue, we've got Dark Horse out there on the track. She is also eligible to score points now, but Mouse has hit the pack first. She's trying to get past the defense on blue, taking her to the outside, but she gets past, picking up 4 points for the white team.
Dark Horse jammer for the blue team now through after having picked up 4 more points of her own. In the meantime, Mouse now engaging the back of the pack, looking to make her next scoring pass.
And Mouse touches her hands to her hips, calling off that jam after she gets through and passes all 4 blockers on the opposing team. So she picks up 4 points on that pass.
That does bring our score point total to white team 8. Blue team 4 with this first minute of our 30-minute first half down.
All right, and those next packs are on the track now, lining up on the jammer line.
Can see our non-skating official up in the middle there with her hand in the air, bringing it down, calling the start of the jam.
And jamming for blue is Fang Dangled. She is out first, and she is your lead jammer for this jam. Jamming in blue against Fang Dangled, jamming in white up against Fang Dangled is Ginger Snap. She's still having some trouble making her way past the blocking wall of blue there. Darling Nikki tries to help give a little bit of offense, and now she is also out of the pack.
So you can see our referee there, Bjorn to Kill, waving his hands across his chest. This indicates that the jammer that he is following is not the lead jammer and is not able to call off the jam.
Meanwhile, the lead jammer, Fang Dangled, has completed her first scoring pass through the pack, picked up 4 points for the blue team. Now she's in the back of the pack against a wall of white there with Call It a Wild, Shenanigans, Darling Nikki, and One Hit Wanda, the last to pass there. Fang Dangled makes it past her.
That's right. All 4 of the defensive blockers for the white team were there trying to keep Fang Dangled back, trying to push her out to the inside. They succeed in doing so.
It looks like Shenanigans succeeded in doing so just as the white jammer, Ginger Snap, got through the pack and picked up 4 points for her team as well. So, Rich, it looks like we've got a tie game here. Blue and white both with 12 points. 27 minutes left to go in this first period.
Do look like we are lining up on that jammer line. Looks like in white we've got Hammer Abby jamming. And I believe that is Lady Hoo-Ha up jamming in white. A little difficult to see from this vantage point. But
Lady
yes,
Hoo-Ha
I can confirm that is Lady Hoo-Ha.
Lady Hoo-Ha jamming in blue up against some white blockers in the front there. In the back now, and it looks like Hammer Abby, she's jamming her way out to the front. Got held up a bit there.
Hammer Abby now out in front. However, Lady Hoo-Ha in the blue got out first, so she is your lead jammer. Both jammers racing around the pack to score up those first points.
And this is the ideal when both jammers hit the pack at once. Who can make it through the first to score those first 4 points? If you're the lead jammer, you're going to want to call off that jam if you score points before the opposing jammer gets through that pack. Lady Hoo-Ha, lead jammer and also in the lead. Looks like she goes to the outside and calls off the jam, but Hammer Abby jumps over that inside apex and picks up 3 points for the white team.
With that jam, the white team has pulled ahead. They have 19 points against the blue team's 17, so just 2 points separating this team with 25 minutes remaining in the first half.
And normally these teams, blue and white, are skating with one another against teams from around the country. So they are fairly evenly matched here. Jamming in blue, we've got Jocelyn Hell, I believe, up on that jammer line, just taking off. Jamming in white, it's Mouse.
Number 4, Mouse for the white team, gets out first, takes lead jam for Dairyland Dolls white. In the meantime, looking back to the back of the pack, blue jammer Jocelyn Hell still fighting her way against the defense of the white team, knocked to the outside, does come back in, looking to get through that pack again. In the meantime,
Mouse through the pack for a grand slam and 5 points for the white team.
that's right, when one jammer passes every single skater on the opposing team, we call that a grand slam. 5 points are awarded for that. You can see the jam ref wiggling their thumb out there to indicate that 5-point score.
And Mouse makes her way through that pack. One last time to pick up another 4 points for the white team. Calls off the jam, and we're going to start the next jam with blue having 17 points, white bringing it up to 28 points. But still over 24 minutes left in this period.
Skaters are lining up for the next jam. Looks like we have Shenanigans jamming for the team in white.
A lot of defense by the white blockers there, working their way to get next to one another and drive that blue jammer, lip smacker, it looks like, to the outside or the inside. Blue defense in the back, trying to hold back number 9, Shenanigans. She passes through and picks up lead jammer status for the white team.
We can see here the white skater, wearing the pivot cover, Darling Nikki, taking a trip to that penalty box. Whenever a skater picks up a penalty, some sort of illegal move, they have to sit and spend 30 seconds in the penalty box to think about what they have done. So the jam has ended with Darling Nikki in that penalty box, so she will have to start this next jam in the penalty box. White team starting with 1 blocker down.
And it looks like One Hit Wanda jamming for white. She'll be jamming against Shantastic McAwesome. And I'm sorry, that's Siren. My eyes are getting old back here. So we got Siren, Blitz Siren jamming for white.
We have blue jammer Shantastic McAwesome finding that inside lane, gets through to take lead jam for the Dairyland Dolls blue team.
And Hammer Abby helps Blitz Siren through the pack. She is now eligible, both jammers eligible to score points. Shantastic McAwesome, lead jammer and in the lead. She tries to get around that last blocker and call off the jam. She does so, picking up 4 points for the blue team.
That does bring our point total to blue team 21, white team 29, with 22 minutes remaining in the first half. Looking on down to that jammer line, believe we have One Hit Wanda up jamming for the white team. Blue team, that looks like Dark Horse jamming on that jammer line, Dolly.
You're right. Dark Horse jamming in blue gets up front against a pack of 4 of the Dairyland Dolls. White blockers there. She makes her way past Mouse and picks up lead jammer status for the blue team.
Now we can see here that One Hit Wanda, the jammer for the white team, has removed her star cover and passed it over to the pivot Mouse. The pivot being the skaters with the stripes on their helmet. They are eligible to receive the star from their jammer.
And before Mouse can score any points, Dark Horse makes it through the pack, picks up 4 points, and calls off the jam. But you're right, Rich. The pivot, who's wearing the stripe, is the only blocker on that team that can receive the jammer helmet cover. When she does so, she puts that jammer helmet cover on her helmet, and now she is the active jammer in that jam. It looks like One Hit Wanda is going to be lining up to jam again. Nope, I'm sorry. That is not One Hit Wanda. I think everybody's One Hit Wanda. But we've got Ginger Snap out there jamming in white, finding her way on the inside line, and Ginger Snap is your lead jammer.
In the meantime, the jammer, she is jamming against Feminine Hijinks for the blue team. Also out through the pack, she is not your lead jammer. However, she is now eligible to score points.
Ginger Snap making her way to the pack, getting held up in the front of the pack there by some of the blue defense. She makes her way through, picking up 4 points for the white team.
Blue jammer Feminine Hijinks finds an outside lane, does manage to get through, passing 4 opposing skaters, picking up 4 points for Dairyland Dolls blue.
And the white team trying to hold back one of the blue skaters. They do so. Ginger Snap up on the inside line, turns around and gets by for another 4 points. But she's going for more, Rich. She is not calling off this jam.
No, she is looking to score as many points as possible. There is often a bit of a strategy to get those points that you want to score, calling off the jam before your opponent can pick up any additional points. Looks like she's going for the big points this jam.
She is, and she's up against 3. Defense in the front in blue. Makes her way past the last one there on the outside. She's fighting against... Oh, she's fighting against A Magnitude out there, and Sequin Destroy her. She calls off that jam after she gets through and picks up 4 points. There's a lot of scoring on both sides there. Blue now 36 points. White with 41 points, and we've got about 19 minutes left in this period.
That's right. Blue picked up 11 points during that last jam. White holding it just above them with 12 points. So definitely a strong jam for both teams. Can see our jammers, Hammer Abby there, I believe. That is Hammer Abby jamming in white, kind of getting a running start. Slams through on the inside to take a quick lead jam.
And she's jamming against Bang Dangled, who makes her way around that first turn and finds an opening, getting through the pack as well. Hammer Abby, the lead jammer, now approaching the pack on her first point-scoring pass. She tries to jump that apex, but falls down, so
she has to come back around. That's
back
right.
to the back of the pack.
That's right. If a skater is knocked out of bounds, then they must return inbounds behind the skater that knocked them out. So So you'll often see somebody knock a skater out of bounds and then skate backwards. So the skater that they had knocked out, usually the jammer, has to come in behind them and at a disadvantage.
And if that person knocked out of bounds comes in front of the opposing skaters, they are called on a penalty for cutting the track and will then have to be sent to the penalty box. On that last jam, Rich, it looks like both teams picked up 4 points. And now lining up on the jammer line, we've got Block Nest Monster jamming in blue up against Mouse jamming for white.
Looks like Mouse had a penalty called on her. I believe that is a track cut penalty, just as we were talking about. You can see Bjorn to Kill, the jammer ref there, crossing his arms in front of him, indicating a track cut penalty. So Mouse will now spend 30 seconds in the penalty box to think about what she has done. This gives the blue team and the Block Nest Monster a power jam.
That's right, Rich. A power jam is when you're the only team to have a jammer on the track. And every time that jammer passes all 4 blockers, she also gets a point for the jammer that's in the penalty box.
That's right.
So Block Nest making her way past Jean Lane there, picking up 5 points and a grand slam for the blue team.
White jammer Mouse now released from the penalty box, coming in at the back of the pack, looking to make up some of that ground she lost in the penalty box, does get through. However, blue team Block Nest gonna call off the jam before Mouse can do any additional damage.
That's right. Great jam by Block Nest there. She did get knocked down on the inside line, called off the jam before Mouse could pick up any points for white.
That's right. With that jam, blue team has brought it up to a tie. Both teams at 45 points. With 16 minutes remaining in this first half, we are just about 1/4 of a way through this game.
And we've got blue and white jamming against one another. Out on the track for blue jamming is a magnitude 10. She's jamming against Blitz Siren in white. A-Mag out of the pack first, and she is your lead jammer.
That's right. Blue blockers doing a really great job of keeping Blitz Siren back. Only now is she getting through the pack and beginning to be eligible to make her first scoring pass.
And meanwhile, a magnitude 10 out into the first scoring pass on the track there. She picks up the points that she can and calls off the jam, picking up another 3 points for blue and bringing them into the lead. And we want to remind you all that the WFTDA, or Women's Flat Track Derby Association, is going to be hosting, we're going to be helping them host the international championships, the Division I championships, here in September, the 23rd through the 25th.
That's right, Dolly. You can head on down to WFTDA.com/Madison for more information about that event and ways you can participate and get tickets to that bout, or those sets of bouts, rather.
That's right. The Dairyland Dolls here, we've got Hammer Abby jamming in white. She's jamming against Whiskey Chaser in blue. Looks like Whiskey Chaser has taken off the star helmet cover. Oh, but there she puts it back on after she gets through the pack for her initial pass.
That is what we call a star stash. Sometimes the jammer will remove their helmet cover to make it look like perhaps they're going to pass that star over to the pivot, the skater with the stripe on her helmet. But she does not necessarily have to pass that star. She can just hold on to it, put it back on, and start scoring points.
That's right. Jammer has to have the star helmet cover on her helmet in order to score points as she passes the opposing blockers and jammers. And now on the jammer line for white, we've got Mouse jamming again up against Scarlet Osnaria jamming for blue.
Mouse doing a little bit of running up on her toe stops around the outside, gets through to take a quick lead jam for the white team.
And it looks like Mouse's pack kind of moved up through the pack with her there. Now blue, a tight defensive wall in the back, trying to get Mouse to go to the outside.
Mouse barely staying in bounds there on one skate, ends up taking a bit of a tumble at the end of that third turn, forced to call off the jam. Looks like the white, like she did pick up 4 points on that last pass, held the blue team to 0. That brings our score to blue 48, white 53 with 13 minutes remaining in the first half.
And I want to remind you, skaters, everybody out here on this hot track, to keep hydrated. They're out here. There is sun on the track, a little bit of shade here, and a nice breeze. But it's hot out there. Speaking of hot, we've got Cyanide out there jamming in blue up against Ginger Snap jamming in white.
Ginger Snap, however, just picked up a track cut penalty. Off to the penalty box she goes. This gives the blue team a power jam.
And that's Cyanide out there, your lead jammer in blue. She is the only jammer on the track right now. Let's see what she can do.
You can see Cyanide as she skates by her bench there, looking for her tips, trying to figure out what should I do here. In this situation, the correct answer is skate around that track, pick up those points.
That's right, Rich. And Cyanide does just that, pushing the last two blockers in white out of engagement zone so she can get past them. Going up against Call It a Wild, one of her home teammates here, and they both get knocked down. Cyanide, though, right back up and skating, picking up 5 points and a grand slam for the blue team. And just as Ginger Snap gets out of the penalty box, Cyanide calls off that jam. That'll bring blue up to 58 points, white with 53, and we've still got 11 minutes to go in this first period.
Still a very close game of roller derby. As you can see, we're picking up anywhere between 0 to, we've seen, I believe, a high-scoring jam of about 17 or 18 points. We've seen some really big jams in the past in our home season and in our away seasons. We see up to 20 to 30 to even 50 points in a single jam. So really, scores can go any way in a bout of roller derby.
And your lead jammer in this jam is Lady Hoo-Ha, skating in blue for the Dairyland Dolls. She's often a high-scoring jammer, and she's out of the pack and around the track, picking up 4 points in her first scoring pass. She's just right behind Hammer Abby, who's jamming for white.
Hammer Abby taking a bit of a shot there, trying to slow down the opposing jammer as they both get through the pack. Lady Hoo-Ha, though, gets through, picks up a grand slam, and 5 more points for the blue team.
Meanwhile, the blue defense really giving Hammer Abby a run for her money and making her stay in that pack as Lady Hoo-Ha skates around the track, past all the blockers and picking up a 5-point grand slam for blue.
We can see Hammer Abby, tired of dealing with that tireless wall of blue at the back of the pack, has passed her star onto the white pivot. That is Shenanigans, putting that star on her helmet, becoming the active jammer for the white team. However, Lady Hoo-Ha ain't having none of that. She calls off the jam.
She calls that jam off, and we'll start up another one. You can see all of these ladies play in their home teams, either the Quad Squad, the Vaudeville Vixens, the Reservoir Dolls, or the Unholy Rollers. And our home season for the 2017 season will start this December 10th. We play all of our bouts at the Alliant Energy Center, and our home schedule is going to be next year, December 10th, and then January 7th, February 18th, March 4th, and April 29th. So we've got a short home season, but
of course, you can find all of this information and more at madrollanddolls.com. You can also find us out on Facebook. Love to have you follow along and post any pictures you might be taking from this event out on your social media.
And now back to the action on the track. We've got Darling Nikki jamming in white, Sequin Destroyer jamming in blue, and it looks like Sequin Destroyer coming to the penalty box here. Darling Nikki now called as your lead jammer, just getting through the pack for the first time that last pass there. A lot of great defense on both sides there to make that happen. Darling Nikki, though, through the pack, picking up 5 points and a grand slam for the white team.
That's right, the jam, or the pack up there slowing down as there's a lot of blocking happening here. Blue jammer Sequin Destroyer now out of the penalty box, getting back around to that pack. Does try to find the inside line, finds it, is going to get by the last vestige of white team defense, that is Jean Lane.
And darling Nikki taking a hit to the outside there. That is a little bit dangerous with just the padding over there. Make sure you're not leaning over it as well, because some of those skaters can get knocked into that. She decides to call off that jam.
Going into this next jam, we have the white team at 64. Blue team has taken the lead with 76 points. We have just over 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Next jam has begun with that whistle.
And we've got Jocelyn Hell jamming for blue. She's making her way up into the front, and it looks like Fang Dangle trying to help play a little bit of offense. But the defensive wall of white just taking Jocelyn to the inside each time.
Blitz Siren jamming for the white team, fighting against the wall of blue towards the back of the pack. She is going to manage to start getting by them. However, taking a hit there from the pivot.
Fang dangled.
Yep,
Fang really holding Blitz Siren behind her as Jocelyn Hell out of the pack now. Your lead jammer for the blue team.
Yes, and with the blue team's jammer out of the pack, the blue team blockers are now switching to focusing their attention on the white jammer, making sure she cannot get through to start scoring additional points.
And you'll see those skaters in the front of the pack trying to actually bridge out so that they're still within engagement zone distance. You have to be so close to the pack in order to engage another skater by blocking them. So it looks like that jam was called off. Just a few points there for blue, picking up 4, bringing their score to 80. White with 64 points, and we've got 6 minutes left to go in this period.
Looking back down to the jammer line, we have number 24. That is Shantastic McAwesome jamming for the blue team. She is jamming against number 4 in white. That is Mouse.
And Mouse trying to find her way around the outside line, gets taken out of bounds. Shantastic McAwesome taken out of bounds on the inside line. And Mouse makes her way around that outside line. She does not pick up lead jammer status because she may have passed someone out of bounds. It's not enough to be a major penalty to get her to the penalty box, but it doesn't get her lead jammer status. So that goes to Shantastic McAwesome. Mouse picking up 4 points, though, for white.
Shantastic McAwesome re-engaging at the back of the pack, picks up 4 points of her own, meets with some fierce defense, though, decides to call off the jam before Mouse can get around to pick up any additional points for the white team.
That's a great idea by that jammer. And that's what allowed Shantastic McAwesome there to get as many points as the opposing jammer, even though that jammer approached the pack first. She was still lead jammer and had that power to call off the jam. Now jamming for white, we've got Ginger Snap jamming against Dark Horse in blue.
Dark Horse going to get out first, takes lead jam for Dairyland Dolls blue. Meantime, Ginger Snap fighting against, now pushing her way to the front of the pack. As the blue team, though, not going to let up that defense. Dark Horse does get through, picks up a grand slam, 5 points for the blue team.
And Ginger Snap now through the pack, fighting her way past some of the blockers in order to allow her to start scoring points. But Dark Horse into the pack first, calls off that jam after picking up 1 point, keeping the blue team ahead in points.
That's right, our point total is now white team 68, blue 89. We are at 4 minutes remaining in this first half, Dolly.
That's right, Rich, and we're lining it up again on the jammer line. We've got Neon on the jammer line for white, jamming against Jocelyn Hell in blue. The whistle blows and the jammers take off, trying to make their way past the defensive wall of blockers.
Got some blockers bouncing off of that white, or off of the orange mats on the side there. Skaters used to a little bit more berth on the side there. We're a little constrained by our environment here. We're making do.
That's right. A Magnitude recycles Neon around to the back of the pack there, making her try to find her way through that wall again. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Hell out of the pack, and she is your lead jammer for the blue team. Jocelyn Hell taken to the outside. It looks like by Hoppy Go Lucky and Call It a Wild there, recycling her so that she cannot score any points until their jammer gets out of the pack. And it looks like there was a star pass, Rich.
You are right, Dolly. Blitz Siren, now the active jammer for the white team. However, not going to do her a whole lot of good as the jam is called off. We are getting down to the last moments of this first half. White team 68, blue 93, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Looks like we're going to have Lady Hoo-Ha taking the jammer star for the blue team, knocking it up a bit with white jammer Hammer Abby. All skaters getting ready to go into this jam. Whistle blows. We are into the action, Dolly.
That's right, Rich. Hammer Abby trying to fight her way in the back against a wall of blue. Meanwhile, she makes her way through as Lady Hoo-Ha, knocked to the outside, has to recycle around and try to fight against the wall of white up in the front.
However, the pack can only be so spread out. You will see some of these blockers starting to stop and bridge the distance because the pack can only be up to 10 feet away from each other.
That's right. Hammer Abby through the pack there, picking up 4 points. But Lady Hoo-Ha right behind her also picking up 4 points.
Both jammers through. Hammer Abby taking a little bit of a spill at the end of that jam. Lady Hoo-Ha letting her know what she thinks of that call off.
Looks like she thinks that was a little bit of a chicken move there. She didn't want her to score any more points, and so she showed her. A lot of fun out there on the track between these two teams, but also a lot of competition. These skaters train together at least 3 times a week. They travel throughout the summer, but they also play against each other in scrimmages like this. So it's hard to have to play against one another, but also be friends right after that bout.
Getting back down to the action on the track, we have number 4. That is Mouse jamming for the team in white. She's out first, taking the lead jam for her team.
She's jamming against Feminine Hijinks in blue. And Mouse making her way around the track and through the pack, decides to keep going. She picks up 4 points.
That's right, Mouse, one of the veteran skaters for the Mad Rollin' Dolls. Been with it for quite a bit of time, Dolly.
That's right, Mouse is one of the originals. Helped start this league back in 2005.
That's right, we will be entering into Mad Rollin' Dolls' 13th season for the home season.
And that's a lucky season for us, Rich.
That's right, we hope you all will enjoy what you're seeing here and will come join us as our home season starts December 10th down at the Alliant Energy Center.
And Mouse and Feminine Hijinks both in the pack now, trying to pick up points for their respective teams. Both blue and white defense. Getting all mixed up there. Mouse gets through first and calls off the jam. But Feminine Hijinks right behind her, both picking up 4 points. I think it looks like Mouse may have picked up 5 in that last jam.
Yeah, it looks like as a total, the white team picked up 13 points, blue team 8. That brings our point total to white team 85, blue team 105 as we enter this half. We will now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready to get back underway here. For any of you just joining us, we are the Mad Rollin' Dolls, here with our travel team, the Dairyland Dolls.
That's right. I'm Dolly, pardon me, and this is Rich Mahogany. We're your announcers tonight. How are y'all liking the roller derby out there so far? All right, thank you for coming down. Anybody out there want to see some roller derby? Make your way on down to this end.
That's right. Here we go. For any of you looking for more roller derby action, we have coming up at the end of September the WFTDA, that is the Women's Flat Track Derby Association Division I playoffs, happening September 23rd to 24th. Your Mad Rollin' Dolls will be hosting that event.
That's right here in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center. There'll be teams from all over the country and the world competing for the Women's Flat Track Derby Association Championship Trophy.
And if you would like additional information on that, head on down to WFTDA.com/Madison for more information.
And we're going to get back to the action right here on the track. Your Dairyland Dolls blue team with Dark Horse jamming up against the Dairyland Dolls in white with Shenanigans jamming. It looks like Shenanigans out of the pack first. She is your lead jammer.
And just as another little refresher for anybody who may have joined us before we did our derby demo at the beginning of the game, the way this all works is you see one skater on each team with a star on her helmet. She is called the jammer. She is the skater that is eligible to score points for her team. Once she is through the pack on the initial pass, every set of hips of the opposing team that she passes, she picks up 1 point.
And once that jammer gets through the pack and is the first to do so legally past everyone, she's called as the lead jammer. So she is able then to call off the jam at any point, which is what you just saw Shenanigans do. She called off that jam when she couldn't get out of the pack and then kept the blue team from scoring any more points. Now back to the action on the track. We've got Lady Hoo-Ha jamming in blue up against Hammer Abby jamming in white.
Lady Hoo-Ha out first. That means she is the lead jammer here. She has the power to end the jam at her whim. Hammer Abby not lead jammer, however, hot on the heels of Lady Hoo-Ha as both skaters are approaching the pack to make their initial scoring pass.
And Lady Hoo-Ha trying to make her way through the pack and fight past the blockers in the front. She gets past Darling Nikki. Past all blockers, they're picking up 4 points for the blue team.
Hammer Abby, white jammer, now through the pack as well, picking up 4 points for herself. As getting back up to the pack, we got Lady Hoo-Ha re-engaging the pack, looking to score some more points.
Again, getting past Darling Nikki, the last to pass there. Lady Hoo-Ha picks up 4 points for the blue team. She still keeps skating, though. She's looking to lap that pack as Hammer Abby is stopped in the pack right now.
That's right, Hammer Abby was knocked to the inside by one of the opposing blue blockers, and when you're knocked to the outside, you have to return inbounds behind the skater that knocked you out.
That's right, Hammer Abby just getting out of the pack now, but Lady Hoo-Ha passed her as well as all the opposing players. She turns around, skates backwards, and decides to now call off the jam after she picks up that grand slam.
That's right, blue team picked up about 13 points on that last jam. White team 8. That has brought our point total to white team 94, blue 122 with 27 minutes remaining in this game.
That's right, Rich. There are 2 periods in a roller derby bout or game, and we are in the second period here. 30 minutes of hard-hitting action and jamming for the blue team. It looks like we have a magnitude 10.
That's right, and she is jamming against Mouse in the white. Mouse having taken that quick inside lane to take lead jam for the white team. She is working her way around the around the track now to make her initial scoring pass.
And that's just what Mouse does. She squeaks right by there through the pack and picks up 4 points for the white team. A magnitude 10 now through the pack, or around the track and trying to get through the pack to pick up 4 points for blue.
Ooh, Mouse tries a little bit of a hop, trying to jump, like staying inbounds, jumping over part of that turn on the inside. We call that an apex jump. However, she did land inside or out of bounds, so she had to go back. Didn't quite complete that apex jump. However, she is now through the pack, picking up a 5-point grand slam for the white team.
And for those of you that don't know what a grand slam is, it's when the jammer passes all 4 blockers as well as the other jammer. She picks up 5 points for a grand slam. Mouse making her way through that pack, calls off the jam, and now we'll have another 5 from each team line up. We've got the blue team with 126 points, the white team with 107, and we've still got 25 minutes to play in this second period.
That's right, with only 19 points separating these teams, things can really go either way. We have seen 19 points scored in a single jam. So while we do have the blue team in the lead, white is certainly within striking distance to take the lead.
And one Blitz Siren jamming for white up against Block Nest Monster jamming in blue. Blitz Siren out of the pack first. She is your lead jammer.
Block Nest also through the pack, not your lead jammer, but looking to approach the pack to begin her scoring pass. Meantime, white jammer Blitz Siren in the midst of the pack, having a little bit of trouble there against that wall of blue at the front, forced to call off the jam before the white team can put up, the blue team can put up any additional points. Looks like 1 point scored by each jammer that jam.
And a lot of times that's the strategy of the jammers that are lead jammers. They want to score as many points as they can, but if they can't score that many points, they want to minimize how many points the opposing team can score. So they may just take 1 point, call off that jam before the other team can score any points.
Getting back down to the action on the track, we've got Ginger Snap wearing the jammer star for the white team. She is jamming against Fang Dangled in blue. Fang Dangled gets out, takes lead jam, already making her way around the track, looking to make her scoring pass.
And Ginger Snap out of the pack now, fighting her way past the last two blockers in blue. Meanwhile, Fang Dangled through the pack, picking up 4 points for blue team. And she's going to keep skating. Ginger Snap making her way past, trying to fight her way past Sequin Destroy Her. Sequin Destroy Her joined up in the front by Feminine Hijinks and Whiskey Chaser. Darling Nikki trying to help Ginger Snap get through and past those last few blockers in blue.
Sounds like with those whistles, we have the jam called off. 4 points picked up by each jammer on that last pass.
And I think Fang Dangled did lap around and score an additional 4 points. So she picks up 8 points for the blue team, whereas 4 points picked up by the white team.
That's right, Dolly. That brings our point total to white team 112, blue 135. Sticking around to that about 20-point spread between these two teams right now.
And jamming, it looks like we have a little bit of a fall there by some of the blockers, but jamming for blue, we've got Shantastic McAwesome, number 24, jamming against number 4, Mouse in white.
Right,
Mouse
Sorry.
having a hard time there on the outside. She's been caught in the pack by the blue defense. Meanwhile, Shantastic McAwesome, called lead jammer, and able to get around the track trying to score some points now.
That's right, we do have a full blocking wall, 4 blockers for the blue team working on keeping Mouse back. She does end up breaking through. She is not your lead jammer, however, she is now eligible to begin scoring points.
And Shantastic McAwesome made her way through that pack the last time, also passing Mouse, so picked up 5 points. She decides to call off this jam as she's knocked to the outside, and before Mouse can score any points for white.
So if you are thinking that this looks particularly fun, not only are you correct, but we also have opportunities for you to join us with the Mad Rollin' Dolls with the recreational league, the Mad Wreckin' Dolls.
That's right, Rich. A lot of these skaters that you see on the track here started off as a Mad Wreckin' Doll. And if you're wondering about what the Mad Wreckin' Dolls are, you might find a few of them walking around here in the crowd. They may have skates on, they may be dressed in some teal and yellow, and they're able to tell you all about the Mad Wreckin' Dolls if you want to join.
Getting back down to the action on the track, we have our blue jammer out front. That is number 1967.
Jocelyn Hell, and she is your lead jammer. Jamming for white, we've got Battle Frog, and she's out of the pack, eligible to score points. But it looks like that jam is called off by Jocelyn Hell before.
Yep, Jocelyn Hell showing off some of that hit it and quit it play style we were talking about a little bit earlier, where the jammer just gets through, picks up points, immediately calls off the jam before the opposing jammer can pick up any points. Nice way to just extend your lead or chip into the opposing team's lead by 4 points.
That's right, Rich. And now we've got 2 more jammers on that jammer line. We've got Hammer Abby jamming in white, going up against Whiskey Chaser in blue. Is that Whiskey Chaser? That is Whiskey Chaser, and she's knocked out on the inside line there.
Oh, she does get knocked out of bounds, doesn't come back in behind the skater that she was out in front of, so she picks up a track cut penalty. Off to the penalty box she goes. This gives Hammer Abby and Team White a 30-second power jam.
Meanwhile, Whiskey Chaser, who will spend that time in the penalty box, anytime you cut the track or go out of bounds and then come in, be in front of someone, that is a penalty, as well as some other penalties that you might be seeing out there.
So you can see here the pack is starting to spread out a bit. You see the refs on the inside raising their hands, looking like they're doing that goalpost movement. That indicates to the skaters that they are getting dangerously far apart to having no pack called on them. If they get spread out too far, they are no longer able to engage the jammers, have to let them go.
And this pack doing a great job of holding Hammer Abby in the pack. Meanwhile, while their jammer getting out of the penalty box.
That's right, Hammer Abby taking a little bit of a spill there on the turn, causes her to call off the jam, not before picking up a grand slam. 5 more points for the white team. That brings their point total to 117 up against the blue team's 146. We have 18 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game, Dolly.
And Rich, that point difference is nothing for either team to either continue to keep a lead or to chip away at. Let's see just what they do here on the track. Jamming for blue, we've got Lip Smacker, and she's jamming up against Mouse, number 4 in white.
Looks like Lip Smacker, blue jammer, going to get out first, does take lead jam. Runs into a little bit of trouble once she's through in the form of the white blocker shenanigans. This does allow the white jammer Mouse to get through on her scoring pass, so she is not the lead jammer. She is, however, the jammer in the lead.
But Lip Smacker is the lead jammer, so she can call off that jam at any time. She does so before Mouse can hopefully before Mouse can score some points, but it looks like she did pick up a couple points there on that jam.
Yep, 2 points up there for the white team on that last pass. Last jam in general, 2 points white, 0 points blue, as our skaters are lining up for the next jam.
And jamming in blue, we've got Feminine Hijinks. She'll be jamming against Neon Arthik in white.
Right, quite the fierce scrum happening right after that first turn there, as both jammers are right next to each other, pushing out of the pack. Getting out first, though, is Feminine Hijinks in blue.
And Neon just follows Jinx right out of that pack, just like she would normally follow one of her teammates. And Feminine Hijinks and Neon are normally teammates on the Vaudeville Vixens, tonight playing against one another in blue and white. Feminine Hijinks calls off that jam after she picks up 1 point, and we'll line it up again. So yeah, if you are interested in learning how to skate, but you don't think you can skate as good as these gals out here, check out the Mad Wrecking Dolls. They will teach you how to skate, and they have open skating sessions that are here in Madison.
That's right, and there is 0 experience necessary. If you have never strapped on a set of quad skates, that doesn't matter. Come on down, get some experience with the Mad Wrecking Dolls.
Now jamming for the Dairyland Dolls in white, it's One Hit Wanda. Jamming against in blue, Lady Hoo-Ha.
Lady Hoo-Ha looking mighty slick with those blue shades of hers out on the track, matching that blue jersey and blue star on her helmet. She is fighting against a 4-wall of white blockers towards the back of the pack. Does find an outside lane, doesn't quite make it up to the front. She does, however, end up getting out first, takes lead jam for the blue team.
One Hit Wanda knocked by a hip just to the inside line there. She steps 1 skate out of bounds and past a skater. So that will send her to the penalty box. Meanwhile, Lady Hoo-Ha with a power jam.
So we're going to see what Lady Hoo-Ha and Dairyland Dolls Blue can do with that power jam here. Lady Hoo-Ha does get through the pack, picks up a 5-point grand slam for Team Blue. Meantime, the pack slowing down to a crawl. Lady Hoo-Ha, though, going to call off the jam just as she's approaching. Dolly, why would she do that?
I don't know, Rich, but maybe the team wants to start without White being able to field a jammer so that they can get lead jam.
That looks like you're correct,
That
Dolly.
might be the strategy.
The White team jammer one-hit Wanda standing in the penalty box. This indicates that she has less than 5 seconds remaining on her penalty. That does mean, though, that since she's starting in the penalty box, the blue team will have a power start and a bit of an advantage going into this next jam.
That's right, and jamming for Blue, we've got Cyanide out there fighting her way past blockers in White. Ginger Snap, and it looks like, I'm sorry. Slayhound out there jamming. Blocking. The White jammer has lost the jammer helmet cover. It dropped, but it looks like she picked it right back up.
That's right. If that jammer cover gets dropped, the only skater that is able to pick up the cover is the jammer that lost it. So she can't receive any help from her team on that one. She does pick up the jammer star, passes it over to the White pivot. That's Hammer Abby getting that star on her helmet, now becoming the active jammer, giving a little bit of the chicken wings as the jam is called off by Dairyland Dolls Blue.
And it looks like Cyanide knocked to the outside there, did get recycled around to the back, and saw that Hammer Abby was headed towards the pack, so decided to call off that jam. So it did work out for Blue there, that strategy of starting in order to get that lead jammer status. Now both packs will have a jammer here. We do have Feminine Hijinks from Blue in the penalty box, so the blue team will start one blocker down. Jamming for Blue, we've got Dark Horse out there on the track. Looks like she's fighting past Jean Lane. One left to pass, and she does so, picking up lead jammer status for the blue team.
And she is jamming against, wearing the star for the White team, Hoppy Go Lucky. Hoppy Go Lucky still fighting against a wall of blue in the pack, does end up weaving past the last bits of defense. She's ready to make her scoring pass for Dairyland Dolls White.
And it looks like the pack has come to almost a stop there in turn 3 as Dark Horse pushes her way through to pick up 4 points and call off that jam.
As we were saying before, if you would like to see the Dairyland Dolls do more of their thing, we have the WFTDA Division I playoffs hosted by the Mad Rollin' Dolls happening here September 23rd through 25th. Check out more details about that at WFTDA.com/Madison. Likewise, we have the Mad Rollin' Dolls home season, season 13, starting December 10th. So check us out at MadRollinDolls.com or on our Facebook page, Mad Rollin' Dolls, for more details.
And jamming for the Dairyland Dolls in blue, we've got Shantastic McAwesome. She's jamming against number 4 in White, and that's Mouse.
What? Who is that?
What?
That's Shantastic McAwesome with the awesome shorts.
She does have pretty awesome shorts. What?
I think those sparkles are a tactical advantage, distracting all of the skaters behind her.
And Mouse has her own tactical advantage, too. She's taking the outside, getting by, and calling off that jam, picking up 4 points. And let's see, what is White doing now for points? It looks like White is up to 122 points. Blue with 161, and we still have 11 minutes to go in this bout.
That's right, Blue extending their lead ever so slightly more over White, but there is still plenty of time for White to make a comeback in this bout.
And that's just what Ginger Snap's going to do here, jamming for White.
Yeah, wearing that white jammer star. She is jamming against, I believe that is Feminine Hijinks, wearing the star for the blue team. That it is. In fact, Feminine Hijinks going to get through first, taking lead jam for Dairyland Dolls Blue. Meantime, Ginger Snap, wearing the star for Dairyland Dolls White, does get through the pack. Going to make her start making her scoring pass. However, Feminine Hijinks already up in the pack, starting to make those points as she passes opposing blockers.
And white defense really giving feminine hijinks a run for her money, knocking her to the inside there. She does have to recycle around and back behind anyone that she was hit out of, unless that person, of course, goes out of bounds. So she's getting around there, picking up 4 points for blue. As Ginger Snap trying to fight her way past that last blocker to beat in the front in blue there. That is Fang Dangled.
Yeah, she does get knocked to the outside, forced to recycle to the back of the pack is Ginger Snap. She is now working up back through the pack, trying to find that hole on the inside. Pushed out, though, by Lip Smacker for blue. Looks like both jammers picked up 4 points on that last pass. White team picked up 4 points total, blue team 8. That brings our point total to white team 126, blue 169, with only 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game.
And it'll be an exciting 9 minutes and 30 seconds, Rich. These ladies are out there full contact. There are legal blocking zones as well as legal hitting zones on your body. And the referees are keeping them safe and making sure they follow the rules. If not, you'll see them come over here and sit in the penalty box.
Hammer Abby, jammer in white, wearing that star. Gets out first, takes lead jam for Dairyland Dolls white.
She's jamming against Scarlet Osnaria in blue, who was just pushed through the pack and pushed her way through the pack. She's out now, but not lead jammer. That belongs to Hammer Abby, who just picked up 4 points and is racing her way around the track again.
That's right, Hammer Abby threatening to lap the blue team Scarlet Osnaria, which she does with a bit of an apex jump. Picks up 5 points in a grand slam for passing every single opposing skater.
And when you are the jammer and you can find that nice inside lane and get right past the entire blocker pack as well as that opposing jammer, it is a pretty sweet feeling.
Yep, so long as, if you're making that jump, you'll leave inbounds, you'll land inbounds. That was an A-OK jump. As long as you don't slam into any other blockers illegally.
Correct. And Hammer Abby calls off that jam, picking up a few more points for white, bringing their total to 138. Blue with 173. Still about 8 minutes to go in this bout.
All right, we've got our skaters lining up on that jammer line. Whistle blows, jam begins. We had Shenanigans wearing the star for white, but immediately after the whistle blows, she passes that off to the pivot, Mouse. Mouse now the active jammer for the white team.
And Shenanigans making her way up to the front with Blitz Siren there to block against Jocelyn Hell. Now Jocelyn Hell threw the pack first, determined to be lead jammer because when you pass the star, the helmet cover, you no longer are eligible to beat lead jammer. So that was pretty exciting. Mouse able to pick up some points there.
Yeah, definitely a very slick play on the behalf of Dairyland Dolls white. Great job by all players there.
And every every jam as those 4 blockers and jammer get out there is a whole new jam. So you'll see lots of different things tried, lots of different strategic moves and strategic hits. There, a bunch of skaters just knocked down to the inside lane, getting up, trying to get back into a pack.
Looks like we have a bit of a similar strategy being attempted as last jam. However, this time blue team trying to do that immediate star pass. Not quite working out for them, though. White team gets through, calls off the jam right away as we have some great Dairyland Dolls cheering happen off to the sidelines.
That's right, Rich. We've got some great Dairyland Dolls cheers. And I'd like to help teach the audience a couple of these. The first one is just a simple moo on your half. So it goes dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and then, that's right, the audience all yells moo. So whenever we say dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, that's right, that's what you want. That's what you want to do.
Loving you guys. There's a great crowd down here at Shake the Lake. Getting back down to the action on the track. We've got Blitz Siren wearing the star for the white team.
She's jamming against Whiskey Chaser on blue.
Whiskey Chaser taking lead jam for the blue team. Both skaters now engaging back in the pack, working on making their scoring pass. Blitz Siren out first, takes 4 points for Team White. Looks like we have 4 points being picked up by Team Blue, as well as the blue jammer calls off the jam.
And Whiskey taken to the outside lane, having to get through the entire pack again. Good idea to call off the jam, as the opposing jammer was already through the pack.
I'd like to take a moment to direct everybody's attention down to this blue tent here by the sound system. That is our merchandise table. Come check out any of the awesome Dairyland Dolls merch we have there. We have hats, we have tank tops, we have buttons, we got stickers. We have even more down at our bouts that start December 10th at the Leviathan Energy Center.
And we've got some action down on the track here for you. Mouse jamming in white.
Mouse really doing a nice juke past lip smacker there to take lead jam for the white team. Mouse, very, very small, very fast skater, aptly named, as you may have learned if you've been paying attention to this bout for a little bit.
And Lady Hoo-Ha jamming in blue. Mouse through the pack now, picking up 4 points. Looking back, but allowing Lady Hoo-Ha to also continue to jam. Hoping to jump that apex, but she does.
Lady Hoo-Ha too, following her on that apex jump. Not working as well for Lady Hoo-Ha. She's knocked to the inside. Mouse now making another pass, really starting to close this score gap between Team Blue and Team White.
And just as Mouse gets out and calls the jam, Lady Hoo-Ha makes it through as well. Picks up 4 points, but it looks like Mouse picks up 9 on that pass. Actually, Lady Hoo-Ha picking up 4 points, Mouse picking up 13 on that last jam.
Yep,
bringing White to 159, Blue with 185, and it's a close game, folks, with over 3 minutes to go.
And again, would like to remind you guys, if this is something that you look like you might be interested in doing, you can check out our recreational league, the Mad Wreckin' Dolls. No experience necessary. We will teach you the rules. We will teach you how to skate. It's a great time. And as you said earlier, Dolly, a lot of the skaters here came up through the Wreckin' Dolls program.
And we've got Block Ness Monster jamming for Blue. Block Ness is your lead jammer. And she's jamming against Darling Nikki, who's got the star helmet cover on for White. Just getting out of that pack now. Block Ness blocking her way through, picking up 4 points on that point-scoring pass.
Block Ness, definitely a formidable blocking force, as her name may imply. Clearly also a formidable jamming force out there on the track.
And a lot of these Dairyland Dolls skaters are those all-around skaters who can both block and jam for their team. As Block Ness gets to the pack, she gets stuck in the back and decides to call off that jam after she picks up a few more points.
That's right, our point total now is White Team 160, Blue Team ahead of them by 32 points with 192. We have 2 minutes remaining in this game, Dolly.
And Rich, let's hear it for both the White Team and the Blue Team. How many of you out there are cheering for roller derby? Woo! All right, we've got Hammer Abby jamming in white. She's jamming against Jocelyn Hell in blue. Hammer Abby trying to make her way past.
Jocelyn Hell going to find an inside open lane. Takes lead jam for Dairyland Dolls Blue. As you said, jammer for the White Team. Hammer Abby knocked to the inside, forced to recycle to the back of the pack as Jocelyn Hell, the blue jammer, comes around the pack to begin making her initial scoring pass.
And Hammer Abby makes her way past that last blocker, but Jocelyn Hell through the pack, picking up 5 points and calls off the jam. We're all friends here though, folks. After this bout, the blue team and the white team are friends. They'll share a beer, share a soda, share a treat together, and then they'll train hard to try and make their way to the Division I playoffs, where they will compete against teams from all over the world, hopefully, for the chance to play in championships. And those Division I tournaments are going to be right here at the Leviathan Energy Center September 23rd through the 25th.
That's right, and you can find more details on that at wftda.com/Madison. So right now you might notice there's a little bit of a lull in the action happening on the track. That is because the white team has called for a team timeout. Just pausing the clock for a little bit as we are now just about 1 minute remaining in this game, so the clock is stopped at 1 minute. Now each jam is 2 minutes long, and the jam clock is respected over the period clock. So if our period clock descends down to 0, but we still have time on the play clock, action will continue until the jam ends. Looks like we are ready to get back down into the action here. Jammers have begun. We've got Ginger Snap wearing the star for Dairyland Dolls White. Gets through first, takes lead jam for Dairyland Dolls White.
Lip Smacker jamming for Blue. She gets called on a cutting the track penalty, so this will give White the chance that they need for the points that they need to come back.
That's right.
Against the blue team.
With the white team having the only jammer on the field, we say that they have a power jam.
Unfortunately, it looks like Ginger Snap jamming for White just picked up a penalty as well, so she's going to have to come to the penalty box.
Well, and
she sits down.
This is a fantastic rule learning opportunity. We don't want a jammerless jam. We want more action than that. So when one jammer is already in the penalty box and another one goes, the first jammer is immediately released from the penalty box, and the second jammer that went to the penalty box only has to serve the amount of time that the first jammer served. Simple, right?
Simple, Rich. And now both jammers are back on the track. Neither one is lead jammer. So this jam will go for the full 2 minutes of the jam, because once you go to the penalty box, your lead jammer status is taken away. Ginger Snap through the pack, picking up 4 points. Picking up 5 points in a grand slam, it looks like, as Darling Nikki and Happy Go Lucky try to hold back Lip Smacker.
Yeah, with the pack spread out too far, though, they are no longer able to legally engage the jammer. They have to let Lip Smacker go. Lip Smacker picks up 4 points on that pass, looking to pick up a few more as she comes around for another scoring pass.
And as Ginger Snap is stuck behind the wall of blue, it looks like Lip Smacker now, blue jammer there, trying to make her way around. She makes her way through and picks up 4 points on that pass. We're getting down to the end here, folks. Let's hear it for all of the skaters out there on the track. All of the jammers, all of the blockers.
Yeah, with those whistles, we are now at the end of our game. Ladies and gentlemen, the final total, Dairyland Dolls White 169, Dairyland Dolls Blue, though, taking it with 205.
Let's hear it for the Dairyland Dolls. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And let's hear it for all of you out there. Thank you for coming to see some roller derby. Again, our season will start at the Alliant Energy Center on December 10th. Check out madrollanddolls.com. Check out our merchandise table and get some Dairyland Dolls gear, t-shirts, hats, buttons, stickers.
That's right. The Dairyland Dolls will be playing more between now and the Division I playoffs at the end of September, so you can kind of keep track of what we're doing. Facebook is fairly active. You can keep track of what we're doing over there. Again, thank you all for hanging out here at Shake the Lake, watching us, the Mad Rollin' Dolls, do what we do. I hope you've had fun. I've had a blast, Dolly.
I have had a blast, Rich. And I want to thank all of our volunteers who helped set up this track so that we could play for you.
So again, just another quick reminder of everything that the Mad Rollin' Dolls have coming up in the next few months. We are hosting the Division I playoffs for the WFTDA September 23rd through 25th. More information can be found at WFTDA.com/Madison. Home season for the Mad Rollin' Dolls, 13th home season, starts December 10th. And if you are interested in learning to skate, you can skate with the Mad Wreckin' Dolls. No experience necessary. Come find us.